So, सबसे पहले, what do you think the topic is going to be today? बताओ, guess.
ये कैसे बता सकते हैं भाई?
इसलिए मैंने कहा guess. क्या हो सकता है आज टॉपिक?
बताओ।
If I say it would be unfair, क्योंकि मैंने देख लिया।
अरे guess. अरे the reason I'm saying this is because this session shirt का color. Honestly, that is one of the things that I'll talk about. I'll tell you. So, wait, unlike my previous session where I had fair clarity of what I'm talking about, this session is more like a work in progress of my thought process on a few things. The reason I say this is because there is likelihood that things that I say will be inconsistent in their logic and there can be logical flaws in what I say. So this is a signal to you guys. Should you find something to refute about, feel free to do so. Fine. So, and eventually things will start making sense. It will start very haphazardly. Then I'll pivot to some other topic and eventually like a storyteller. In the end, everything starts making sense. So this, while preparing for this topic, not only was I, let's say, incentivized to delve deeper into what my thought process is, but also get better at a presenter of the flow that I decided. So either I'm setting very high expectations for you guys कि ये session बहुत अच्छा होगा या फिर ये नहीं होगा. Either way, you can't do anything. 30 minutes of your time is now mine, and I hope I do justice to it. With that said, so first section of my speech or lesson is truth. What do you think is truth? What do you think truth stands for? I just need inputs from you guys. What do you think? What do you mean by truth? Anybody?
Sachai.
So that's
true by facts.
So true by fact. So using true by fact. Okay, that's one thing. But here we're trying to define truth by using the word true. So try defining the word without actually using that word.
Which is correct.
Something that is correct, right? Okay. Or can we also say that truth is something जिसको अगर हम invert करें तो वो false हो जाएगा. So again, we are following a circular reference of defining truth. If we invert it on its head, that thing becomes false.
Not false.
Not false. So let me just state a few statements. The color of my shirt is blue. That's a statement. Is that a truth?
Who's colorblind will not agree to it. But
Okay, very good. Just because he's colorblind doesn't change the fact that my color of my shirt is not
right,
blue.
but his perception would be that ये brown
Very
लग
good.
रहा है.
Something we'll discuss in detail. That's the essence of my whole session. So thank you for spoiling it for me. But yeah, so color of my shirt is blue. It's a truth, right? Let's talk about another thing. I am 5'11". Is that truth? Well, you don't know. I know. You don't know because you haven't verified it. Another thing. Now we'll get into some slightly edgier things to talk about. Is stealing bad?
It depends.
Is stealing? It depends. So who all say is stealing bad? This state stealing is bad. Stealing is bad. Is it? Stealing is bad. How many of you think it's a fact of life? Well, only the Jans think so. All of all of you who thinks stealing is bad is not the truth. Okay, which also means there's a third possibility you don't know. Right? Let's go even edgier. India is a country. Is this a truth or not? Who all say India is a country? Good chunk. Dilip doesn't. India is not a country. There is some truth to that as well. And finally, we'll also talk a lot about religion and some socio-political issues like even LGBTQ. The reason I've chosen this topic is because this topic is so fundamental. It helps you develop a process of approaching almost everything in your life. So you can approach any problem statement that you have by looking at that through the philosophy that I have in mind of what truth is. So to define what truth is. Truth is any statement which, when individually verified by different people, is the same. Example 1 plus 1, 2. Whether Prateek does the calculation, Ishika does it, Dilip does it, 1 plus 1 will always be 2. True. Second condition to truth is irrespective of the context. Irrespective of the context. अगर आप उसको invert करो फिर भी वैसा रहेगा. So truth is something that can be verified by a lot of people in any context possible, and the conclusion to that still comes true. This is what we call scientific truths. Now let's talk about a scientific truth, gravity. Whether or not you believe in gravity, gravity acts on you. So it's the truth of life. Okay? So this is one. But fancily, truth itself comes in different variety. So this is the main essence of what I'm talking about. So there is the truth. Then there is something that Yuval Noah Harari, author of Homo sapiens, mentioned in his own words in a different diction called a shared truth. And there's a third thing that I like to call my truth. All of these are truths, all of these vary. The truth is the one that can be individually verified by anybody in the world at any point in time, in any situation, and it will still be true. Shared truth is a truth that a lot of people believe in to the point it becomes a reality. Example, PhonePe. PhonePe as a legal entity exists because its employees, its customers, its suppliers agreed to interact with a fiction reality, an imagined reality called PhonePe. Therefore, it becomes a shared truth. That's the case with
Religions.
entities. I won't come to that. Entities, companies, even countries, and even to some extent religion as well. And we'll talk about religion also in detail, whether it lies here or there. Because this is a spectrum. And for us to say something lies here is us being oblivious to the fact what the actual truth is. Because when you make a statement that something is the truth, you are enforcing an objective reality on someone else. That is a very risky thing to do. This is what leads to a lot of conflicts as well. Again, I segued into something else, but I'll come to that later and it will all start making sense. So we were talking about shared truth. Then there's something called my truth. ये मेरा सच है. Fine? Let's now start taking few examples. The color of this shirt is blue. Is it the truth? Yes. How can you verify that? You can verify that by putting this shirt under any form of light and वो ही photons को reflect करेगा, which will give the blue color. Right? There is a possibility that you expose it some other UV light तो कोई और color reflect हो. But then again, this is blue. ठीक है? Is it also the shared truth? So यहाँ पर लिख देता हूँ my shirt example. So this is the truth. Is it the shared truth? Does everybody believe it? Yes. Is it my truth? Do I believe it? Yes.
And
Okay.
my truth might be subjective, no?
Yeah. These two are subjective. This is the objective reality. These two will always be subjective. And there are very few things in life which are actually the truth. And this is what I'll build upon eventually. So, my shirt is blue. Color of banana is yellow. Is it the truth? Okay, it is truth, but अगर वो right ना हो तो वो green हो सकता है. So there is some situation, but then again, it is the truth. Now let's talk about India as a country. Let's talk about India as a country. Instead of starting from here, let's start from here. Is it my truth? Do I, Kashish, believe in India as a country? Is it my country? Yes. So it is my truth. Is it a shared truth? Shared truth also because a lot of people living in India believe that it's a nation. But it is not the truth. Why? Because it is not independently verifiable. Because again, nation as a concept is a fictional reality. It's an imagined state of being. Physical reality mein, the only thing that matters is the geographic boundary. Then again, drawing boundaries itself is an imagined thing. Because land in Pakistan and land in India is land. There's no boundary there. So, if you look at it from a physics point of view or from an objective point of view, India is not the truth. It is your truth, it is a shared truth, but it is not the truth. because it is not independently verifiable. If you ask a Pakistani, is India a country? They'll say no. Okay? But there's another thing that we'll talk about eventually later on.
So basically, all the religions and concept of God is in shared truth and mind truth.
Hence comes my another example. Religion. Okay? A very sensitive topic, a cause of conflict for a lot of people. Is it my truth? Now, I'll have to be religion is a very wrong way to ask a question. Is Hinduism a religion? Or is Hinduism, let's say, a way of life? Again, I'm taking my personal example. You might subscribe to a different philosophy or different religion. But then again, is Hinduism my truth? Yes. Is it a shared truth? A lot of people believe in it. There might be some internal conflicts also, but it is a shared truth. But is it the truth? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. If I write here cross, I'll be wrong. Because I'm oblivious to the fact that maybe Sanatan Dharma mein jo likha hai, that is the truth. I do not know enough to have an opinion on this. So if I write cross here, I am in the wrong. If I put right here, I am overconfident asshole. I can't say that. Or if I know it is the truth, then maybe I'm an elevated soul and I don't need to prove anything to anyone. So either way, the concept of understanding whether religion is the truth itself is arbitrary. Farak nahi padta, what is it? So instead of writing a cross or tick, what I'll write, I don't know.
Question mark.
Question mark, I don't. Somebody else doing this calculation might say ki it is the truth. Somebody who does understand. I just don't know. Right?
Then the truth converted into objective, subjective, right?
No. This is your understanding of the truth.
That's right.
See, so that's why another thing that I wanted to say. Whenever we talk about the truths, there's one thing here. The truth is the truth of the universe. Mathematics is the language of the universe. If I can mathematically prove something, I can call it the truth. Right?
There is a word for it. It's called as axiom.
Axioms. So we can say the truth is axioms. We can define it. Now, I can say maybe Hinduism the truth. How can I say? Hanuman Chalisa mein लिखा हुआ है कि अर्थ और सन के बीच में क्या डिस्टेंस था. That is a mathematical certainty and these guys knew it. So can I say it is the truth? Maybe, maybe not. Can I say it with certainty? I don't know. So I'm still finding the answer where it is the truth. There's one thing knowing कि क्या सच है क्या नहीं. There is one thing still figuring out. I know India is not the truth. I know it is not the truth. Religion, I don't know. Because I don't want to be, let's say, oblivious to the fact. Right?
The interjection here, if that is how the definition of the truth goes forward, then the shirt being blue is also would not be classified as the truth.
Right.
If I remove the wavelength of light that reflects off your shirt, your shirt will no longer be blue.
The shirt is blue in a specific wavelength.
So
Then is that
then
statement the
it
truth?
is a my and shared truth.
No. Then we change the statement also. Let me be very specific. That's what I said. When I said religion, it's a vague statement to put. When we're trying to find the truth, our question should also be very specific. Here, for the sake of simplicity, I said. But doesn't mean that I'm evading that question. Here, for the sake of simplicity, I said. Is India a nation? Again, a very, very generic statement. What is a nation? I have to be very specific in asking the right questions to finding the right answers. So you're right in saying it is my inability to completely express why this statement should be very specific. But this should be very specific. Let's talk about the LGBTQ issue, right? Something that I have very strong opinions on, irrespective of what others think. People identify themselves different from their gender, right? So they might be born with certain set of chromosomes which may define them as male, but they identify them as a female. Is that their truth? Yes, it is their truth. Nobody has the right to challenge their truth. Is it a shared truth? A good chunk of people believe in it. They support it. Maybe your friends and families are open to accepting your truth. Fine. Is it the truth? No. You still have certain set of chromosomes which define your gender. Fine. So when we start viewing everything from this perspective, we start realizing that finding the truth makes things very easy for us to navigate life and navigate a lot of problems. Why do we need the truth? Why do we need it? First and most important, again borrowing this from Homo sapiens, where he said, for human civilization to grow and progress, you should have certain set of common understandings to build upon. Maths के example लेते हैं. Maths का first fundamental truth is, let's say 1 plus 1 is 2. Calculus, integration, trigonometry, all of this is built on top of the common truths that everybody agrees and knows कि 1 plus 1 is 2. If 1 plus 1 is 2 was not the truth and it was still a debated thing, people couldn't have built on top of that and eventually progressed to the level कि हम अब यहाँ quantum leaps की बात कर रहे हैं. So we as a society do need certain set of truths or axioms to build our life on. Because if these are not there and we can't agree on things, then we can't progress. Right? So it's very important for coordination and progress. And second, to avoid conflict. Why? Let's talk about religion, right? People fight over religion. Once they start understanding, ki boss, it's my truth, it's a shared truth, is it the truth? People start enforcing shared truth as the truth and then take it to the extent of violence. Maybe they believe in it such ki, maybe it is the truth. Maybe we people are oblivious to the fact. हमें नहीं पता कि. But then again, choosing violence, it becomes difficult. But once we start viewing things this way, it becomes easier for us to accommodate different point of views and lead a better life. With that said, why did we talk about truth? Now comes the second portion. So I hope everybody now understands ki bhai, what is truth? Truth is anything which can be independent. The truth is something that can be independently verified. And this is how even science community works. Science community, you would have seen research papers, right? Consuming a lot of protein leads to liver infection. Is it the truth? No. If people independently, on their own, try to verify that data, it will not come 100% true for everyone. So is it the truth? No. You getting me? So, and why is it important? As I mentioned earlier, we have to agree on certain set of things to make our life simpler and lead a better life. Now coming to the second portion of my speech or whatever you want to call it, and why I was talking about the truth. One thing that always bothers me is, what's the meaning of life? Right? So life itself is a big question that needs answering. And I just want to understand what's the best way I can make use of my time here. Because the only scarce asset in this world only is time and Bitcoin. Okay? Time is finite. Time is the only thing that makes other things more valuable. The only reason my parents are valuable to me is because I know their time is finite in my life. That's the only reason. Because if they were immortal, so was I wouldn't value them enough. True scarcity only comes from time. Same is the case with you valuing that iPhone that you have very much, because you think ki if you were immortal, you'd be like, I can buy this whenever I want. I have thousands of years to live. Eventually there will come a time where I can afford one. So even if I don't work hard today, I can still afford that 5,000 years down the line. So time is the only scarce thing. And I want to make best use of my time in this life. Now I ask you, okay? Let's again go in more of a dialogue mode. What do you think is a life best lived? Just spew anything that comes out of your brain. What do you think is a life best lived? Bolo, what do you think is a life best lived? Okay, I'll start.
Do what you want without harming
I
anyone.
think when you die without regrets.
Nice. Now we're getting
When you live with your own value systems.
what you want. Okay?
Without harming anyone.
Do what you want. You said?
Dying without any regrets.
Okay. No regrets. No regrets. And Tushar, you said?
Living up to your value system.
Value system. और कुछ maybe leading a life without diseases. मतलब
But that's not practical.
My truth,
I
shared
think
truth,
a life
the truth.
lived is also a life that you have lived mostly in present, like not thinking about past.
Living
not
in present,
thinking about
okay.
future.
हम यहाँ लिखते हैं present. I'd write here कि भाई no disease. I don't want diseases. Anything else? Don't we want money? Don't we want decent amount of money to afford a living? Yes or no?
That's like base of everything, na? After adult life, you want
हाँ तो
money.
let's just point it out.
I think something that you expect from yourself, then you fulfill it. It can be anything. It can be subjective, but yes,
Living your potential.
living to your potential.
Living to your potential. So that is a life well lived. And बहुत सारी चीजें होंगी. So what I've done, and again,
I have one
हाँ sure please.
experiencing reality at its best.
Experiencing reality at its best. Okay, reality को experience कर रहे हैं. तो sure.
Reality पे जीते हैं लोग मतलब
ठीक है reality. So basically, I ask this question a lot, and unlike you guys who are very philosophical, I had differently. A life well lived is where I have a lot of money and I can financially retire my parents. A life well lived is where I have the most amount of muscular and strength superiority
you
over
can
others.
Hulk out.
Eh?
You can Hulk out
हाँ.
anytime you want.
So मेरे थोड़े I wasn't as philosophical, maybe more materialistic. I was way more materialistic, but then again, that's how I defined life. So what I did, again borrowing this from Naval Ravikant, or at least excerpts from a lot of authors that I've read, a life well lived is a healthy life. And health, if you have seen my LinkedIn heading, health is of three types. It's financial health, physical health, mental health. This is my financial health. This is my physical health. This is my mental health. I have three objectives in life: to make best use of my to score the highest on my financial health, mental health, and physical health. What has this anything to do with truths?
That's so true.
My main goal in my life is that on these parameters, I have to find list of the truths so that I can optimize my life. So, what are few the truths in financial health, physical health, mental health that you can think of? So, my idea is that bhai, if I found the truth with respect to these things and I act on it, my life would be much closer to the truth, and that eventually helps me lead a better life. Because I think universe is the truth. Universe is the answer. We just don't know the right questions. These are the right questions that I have identified. Elon Musk had said that universe is the truth. In Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, the author says the answer to the universe is 42. But I differ on that, where the author was saying universe is the question, we are finding an answer. I inverted, I think universe is the answer. Our life is the answer. Our life is the truth. What's the question? What do we make of it? That's why these are three questions that I have in mind. Now we'll identify few truths on these points and I'll conclude. Over to you, Bata. What do you think are the truths of financial health, physical health, mental health? I'll start. Financial health. Now this will be very basic, very generic, but spend less than you earn. Is it a verifiable truth? If everybody in this room practices this and they spend less than they earn, they'll be financially healthy. So is it the truth? That's the only thing that matters to me. Spend less than I earn. Another truth that I can say, let's go to physical health now. Do you guys understand how calories work? Again, if we look at it, I said maths is the language of universe. This was a mathematical equation. This is also mathematical calories. If you take in more calories than you expend, you gain weight. If you expend more calories than you take in, you lose weight. So that is another truth of my life. And ऐसे करके there are a lot of truths that I'm trying to find an answer to. Now, let's take another thing. Avoiding junk food. Is it the truth?
No.
No. It's not the truth. Why do we say so?
Because it depends on your metabolism.
Okay.
Great
You can
extent.
burn those calories.
Okay. One person that comes to my mind is Warren Buffett. I don't know how much truth there is to the fact that Warren Buffett eats a McDonald's ka breakfast every day. But if there is any truth to it, this is not a independently verifiable truth. Because in the truth, there are no exceptions. There shouldn't be any exceptions. There is no exception to this. Nobody in this world who has spent less than he earned ever went bankrupt. Nobody in this world who took in more calories than he expended ever not gained weight. Ever. You getting me? So,
Here in this case it can be little subjective.
No.
Metabolism की variation आता है.
metabolism is factored in the amount of calories you expend. So, if you have a high metabolism, you'll expend more calories. That is already factored in my equation. So, it's not. The truth is, calorie in greater than calorie out, you gain weight. Finish.
Okay.
You getting me?
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me, but you have to
No,
answer
I
yourself.
understood your
Is it the truth? Is it independently verifiable? What more things can we think of? Now I've given you some direction to it. I've written here junk food. Junk food is not the truth. What else can we talk about? यहाँ पे another thing that comes to my mind is having more muscle is better than having fat. Is it the truth?
No.
Why do you say so?
It's depend on the gender also. For example,
Hmm.
a female need to have more fat
बिल्कुल,
so that she can produce a milk.
बिल्कुल.
But a male should have more
Let's
muscle.
add a condition. As a man, I should have relatively more muscle mass than fat. Here, it's a very vague statement. I should be very specific, but I'm just directionally answering. So he pointed out very well. Is it the truth? I don't know. A lot of people would say, I don't know. Do I still try to target it? Yes. Is it the truth? I don't know. Another thing let's talk about. Financial health पे जाते हैं. My favorite thing. Invest in assets. Again, I'm talking something so fundamental to people on this. But nobody has ever gone bankrupt when investing in an asset. I have to be very specific. What is an asset? If it is truly an asset, you'll never go bankrupt investing in an asset. Another truth of financial health. Permanent risk of capital, permanent loss of capital is the only risk. ठीक है? To build on that, people would say volatility is a risk, standard deviation is a risk. No, it's not risk. People have not gone bankrupt because of volatility. People have gone bankrupt because they lost all their money. Permanent loss of capital is the only truth. It's the truth. What's the mathematical equation for that? Anybody knows?
Can we call it permanent transfer rather than permanent loss?
No, permanent loss of capital. How does it matter? अगर मेरे से ट्रांसफर हो रही है, it's loss.
Individually देखा जाए तो
Individually
loss.
के लिए-
मैं अपनी बात कर रहा हूँ. This is my life.
Exactly.
So you can say transfer. What's the mathematical equation for this? You understand the concept of compounding and decompounding, right? If you lose 50%, you need to make 100% on your investments. So that's the mathematical equation. If you lose 90% of your net worth, you have to make 10x, 1000% to cover. So mathematically, risk permanent loss of capital is the only truth. बस वो बचाना है हमने. You getting me? So permanent loss of. So ऐसे करके ना there are a lot of truths that we should try to find in our lives and then build our lives on that. Fine. Now mental health. Now mental health में ना, so see, mental health is something that I still don't know the answer to. Even I'm struggling, even I'm trying to find out. But the only thing that again, this is my truth, not the truth. Mental health के लिए I think the only thing that matters is your relationships. And when I say relationships, I'll be very specific. Relationship with yourself.